Hello. How you guys doing today? Welcome to the Hump Day stream. It's good to see everyone. Probably is not here yet. Oh, and my typical. Do I feel like focusing today for the first 20 minutes? No. Also, that light seems kind of low. Hold on a second. We're going to do this. There we go. We're going to move this down more like that. Oh, yeah. So the light further up, you get a lot. If the light needs to be just a few inches up, and you get a lot fewer of the reflections of got the cool glasses today. So little difference, little interesting difference going on today as per normal. So normally that's too high. That's about right. Oh gosh, fussed with the camera all day. So normally I play, hey, it's my stream. First of all, a couple things to talk about, which is yesterday there was no stream, so today is my return to streaming. Now I do normally stream every day, but yesterday was a very busy day at work. Connection loss. This is what I'm faced. This is what I'm faced with in Flight Simulator today, which is why there shall be delays. Hey there, sides. There'll be a delay in the simulating of flight today, but not in the content because I'm excited about getting back to streaming after my 1 day, pretty much voluntary not streaming yesterday. No, I didn't stream yesterday, which is I still like to stream every fucking day because it's part of my day. And yesterday I just had a super busy day all day, and then we had the Christmas party. Didn't get back till 2 p.m. and then I had more work to do. It was just basically a kind of a busy work day, which I don't say very often. So I'm still. Do I have the reflections there? There you go. All right. Anyway, so the reflections, it'll be fine. So yeah, so yesterday didn't stream. Today got a stream. May have a long stream today. Don't know. But as you guys know, normally I play Flight Simulator, and I'm all ready to go playing Flight Simulator. And I just got hit with a major upgrade. We're upgrading. Let's. In fact, we're Flight Simulator nerds here. Shall we read the release notes together? Let me move this over here. Of course we shall, because it's my it's my fucking content. So shut the fuck up. And I keep getting this, but I think this is okay. There's a connection loss message. I think. I don't know. Let's see. It's still. It's probably their servers are busy. Let me just see if I can see what's going on here on my task manager Wi-Fi. Yeah, this is going to be a while. The problem with this here is this is a required update. You can't play the old version because hey, I got to stream. What can I do the update tomorrow? You know what I mean? I believe at least. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong on that. You know what I mean? And there'll probably be additional upgrades after this. So even though the show is like almost half done, typically when there's the updates, there's a bunch of content updates that are rolled into that bad boy. I'm still not happy with my camera position. Why just move my ring light up a little too far, I think. So you know what we're gonna do today is we're gonna play some guitar first. And we're gonna talk about guitar. And then we're gonna play some Flight Simulator because we can run guitar anytime. And then we're gonna play some more guitar. We'll talk about the guitar. Normally I talk about switching over to the guitar, but basically it's just me putting my headset on and plugging in the guitar to the mixer. Let's see how that sounds. Perfecto. Okay, remember we're working just this secondary cam here. Okay. Not too terrible. Our first. Temporarily turn this here where I can actually focus too. All right, so the dealio is here. Today's guitar is the Telecaster. So I came up with the following the following quip for my stream, which is that we were going to be televised, telecasting with the Telecaster. Okay, what is interesting about the Telecaster is one of the first electric guitars ever sold to a large audience, ever made in kind of mass production. And it was specifically the first electric guitar specifically designed for mass production to be made less expensively than previous electric guitars of the era, which there were just been a few that were out for a few years, the Les Paul, but they were expensive. And the thing about Leo Fender was that he was really into modifying amps, tube amps, in order to. We got the update. By the way, we're finished with the update, the main update, but I'm on here to make sure we get our content updates. Meanwhile, I'm going to talk about the Fender Leo Fender and what led him to invent the Fender Telecaster. He loved making tube amps. And modifying tube amps for specifically, he was the one who found that you could modify a tube amp with the gain and make it sound really good. Even though they were designed for speech, to make clear speech, modify the amp, it can make this very soulful sound with distortion. This one did not have a lot of tube distortion for playing specifically for the guitar. He kind of came up with that idea, and he wanted to sell. He figured he'd sell a lot of these. But the problem was there weren't that many people with electric guitars. He was trying to sell electric guitar amps before people had electric guitars. So he came up with a brilliant idea. Why don't I, to get more people to have electric guitars so I can sell more guitar amps, I'm also going to sell inexpensive electric guitars. In other words, the electric guitar was the secondary product after the guitar amplifier, which they still sell, the Fender amplifier. And people don't really see it as their primary product because their guitars became so successful. So what made this guitar revolutionary is in terms, he wasn't a guitarist, he wasn't a musician, he was a product designer, and he took a look at it and he said, I'm not going to go with what the existing guitars are. I don't need to. I'm looking at something that could be mass produced for $100. It was like $100 when it first came out in 1954, 1953. But it was substantially less expensive. How can we cut the costs and still make a musical instrument? So a lot of the things were parts boxed, like they didn't make their own pickups and things like that. Okay, we're into the thing. It's giving them a message. Let's look at our update available. Go to Content Manager. Okay. Oh, it's only 3 things. All right, we'll play Flight Simulator. We'll sing that. So I'm not going to change category. Hold on a second here. Well, that makes some weird noise, doesn't it? So the things that made this guitar less expensive at the time was, one thing, the slab of wood design of the body. So the body was effectively one piece of wood that you could route out from one side or from the front and make some holes there and some holes in the back. And that was, so you didn't have a 2-piece body that was a lot more complex and expensive to make. It looked better, but he was also the first person to say, well, it doesn't really need to be a curved top. Let's just make it flat. It'll still be good, because nobody really done that. It was always like the arch top guitars were the only things that were around. Okay. I don't know what that was about. Hold on, sorry about that. All right, let's see if Simulator is going to try to update everything. So the body is a slab. The guitar's neck is bolted on. It's a separate piece that is manufactured separately in one unit, and then married using this bolt-on technology, which was pretty wildly reviled at the time. But nobody really tried to sell a guitar that had made that. So effectively, he had 4 assembly lines of people. One group of people made and finished completed necks. Just the neck part, including the tuners and the frets and the finishing and the truss rod, which came in from the back. Some kind of innovations with how he could build the necks quickly. Other parties built and finished the complete bodies. They were completely finished with whatever colors you wanted, but had no electronics. Other people took a pick guard and attached the electronics and soldered all the wiring together, but didn't install it. And then the 4th group of people took a neck, a body, a pickguard electronics package, and a set of strings, and built the guitar. So you had 4 groups of people, 3 predecessor groups and 1 final group, and then usually a quality control group. But he had designed this whole idea of how to build guitars quickly by splitting the work and into rather than having one luthier build a guitar from the wood to the end, or which they don't really do, but he figured out a way to much more efficiently build the guitars, and for that, and that's how he cut the cost. So all those things, innovations went into this guitar. It wasn't designed to be the best guitar in the world. It was designed to be an electric guitar that you could afford, and that you also needed to purchase a Leo Fender amplifier for. Okay. Am I getting audio from this thing? Hold on a second. Let's see where I'm getting that. No, it's not. Anyway, now here. Flight Simulator is still upgrading. So we're going to talk about not just the, it could be a little while, not just the Telecaster in general, which is 1954. It's a 75-year-old design or 70-year-old design now, and they still sell them. They're still popular. Why? It's as I say, it's simple, it's effective. It's got a unique kind of twang, pop sound, but it also, because of the way this pickup is lined up in a diagonal, you get a little more bass on the bass string and a little more harmonics on the high string than you would if it were straight. And that's really an innovation. That's also a Fender innovation. So it's a lot of great ideas. It wasn't just a few great ideas. So that's what made this guitar so so long lasting. But it doesn't have things like the body cutaway. It just has it's not really that comfortable. It's a little heavy. There's definitely improvements to be made, and that's why they came out with the Stratocaster. We still got this thing kind of thinking here. Downloads complete. Okay, does that mean I can go here? It's still, I'm going to set my options. General options. Every time I do this, it changes my window display mode. It sets my display to window from full screen. So we're going to set it back. All right. So now if you see that, you should see my options. World map. Oh, does this still work? It does. It keeps saying successfully connected and disconnected. Now I do, again, we have a new version. Hold on one second here. We're actually going to play, we are going to play Flight Sim, so hold on. The other thing I want to talk about, no music right now. Hold on one second. All right. So the other thing I want to talk about real quickly, boy, my camera. Well, I keep moving around. There you go. The other thing I want to talk about real quickly is future streams. Okay, so tomorrow's stream, today's a guitar stream. Tomorrow's stream is going to be a Christmas music rehearsal stream. We're still rehearsing. I got like 4 more rehearsals to do before actual Christmas week. The stream after that might be a guitar stream, or might be a recording studio stream. I want to do another recording studio stream because I enjoy doing them, and I keep experimenting with how I'm doing the audio, the basic audio of how it's picking up my voice and how I'm hearing the feedback. So, because I've been listening and using a microphone that's plugged into my mixer there. But now I'm thinking about using a microphone that is basically just a freestanding, very sensitive microphone that I have that should be able to pick me up over a large range, but we'll see. And then listening to the audio from using a longer cord that's about 10 feet long from my mixer over to headphones. So I won't have a microphone in my face, but I think it'll still come in okay because it'll be quiet. I'm not going to have any other sounds going on in the background. It'll just go through my head. It's a long story, but I keep experimenting with it, whether it's a better idea. It certainly is better to always hear the output of my mixer because that's what you guys hear. So I trust it a little bit more. Okay. So step 1 is to choose an aeroplane. Well, step 1 is to usually choose where we're going to go, but today it's to choose an aeroplatic device. And as always, it's my choice. You don't get to choose. I get to choose. Maybe we should take out the DC3. That's a squirrely one, or something like that. You know what? I really want to take out that F4F again because it's crazy. And this was pretty wild too. The Spirit Bomber, that was a great flight. And there's some fun things I want to do on this thing here. And most of these planes are quite fun. I don't know if we've done the Spirit of St. Louis. It's got a long way to go here. Have we flown the Yak? Yak 18 is not that fun. The Yak Fighter. How about... Gosh, there's so many choices. The oldest plane in here, well, this again, I have a Wright Flyer from 1906 or 7 or 8 or whatever. That's the oldest plane. And they also, these are historic aircraft that they give you. It didn't come originally with the game, but there was an upgrade pack. You get the Spirit of St. Louis 1934, or it's almost 36 or whatever. And then they have a series of biplanes. The Curtiss Wright, which I don't think I have installed now, is a 1910 or like a 1918. Oh no, I do. The Curtiss Jan 4 Jenny. I think it's actually 1912 or something. This was a World War I era plane. So there's very old planes. I mean, that goes back to the first planes you could fly. If you want, we could fly an old plane around. I mean, you kind of asked. The Wright Flyer doesn't go anywhere, but this thing is actually, I've never tried it. Let's try it in one of the wackier liveries. And yeah, we don't want to anywhere near put. We'll do a short flight in a really old plane since you asked. And from where, or you suggested an old plane. From where? Oh, look, it looks like a nice day in Australia for a change. A nice morning, really. Melbourne, Canberra, Brisbane, Cairns, they all look good. Adelaide's a little cloudy. It's dark probably still in Perth. It's early morning. All right, what's like down here? Do they have any like little airfields we could take off from? I bet you they do. Like, how long are these bad boys? Grass. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? We don't want a busy airport. Oh, that's why. We need to find an airport. Well, you know what? We're not gonna do a startup sequence. We'll just take off. We're kind of late anyway. Not late, but because we did, we just had one of those update days. I still want to read the release notes for this new version of Flight Simulator, since they did just update it today, and a couple planes got updated, but nothing really of interest. So this plane does have a startup procedure that's real basic in terms of turning on a couple of switches, turning on the magneto, priming the engine, and then I think you tell the guy the outside to spin the, it has an external guy to spin the prop, I believe. But in this case, way too loud. It's got a really clunky engine sound. If you look outside in the external view, we're going to close up. You can see the valve train operating. You kind of see that, those things clacking there. That's external valves, and there's 4 on that side and 4 on that side, and it is realistically timing those valves. And then you got the exhaust system coming out. I mean, the realism, folks. Do not test. You see on the engine there? Now, as usual, by the way, the co-pilot is in the front and the pilot's in the back, and that's my usual co-pilot. And yeah, you can see this design. It is. I think it's a water-cooled engine. There's a radiator in front as kind of an innovation at the time. And typical with the biplanes, they were fabric-covered wings, and they were cable-stayed. I think this is it could be a metal, but it could be fabric. I think it's a metal body. All right, and the controls look like this. Oops, hold on, let's see. Altitude ring, we don't care. Fuel shut-off valve, okay, that's got to be open. There's your throttle. It may need a, whoops, shoot. I didn't want to turn it, I just want to see what it was. Anyway, it's fine. Mixture, 100%. Fuel cutoff ring. Okay, we don't want to pull that either. Panel lights off on. It has, gave us a little one of these here. Compass, radio. It's an update. We have one, and that's about it. A couple instruments. There's no starter, as I mentioned. You just turn it on and you tell the guy externally. Are we running still? We are, but see this thing in that lower right? It's rolling there. That's not normal. That's an I think that's an update issue. Alright, setting trim to neutral. Sometimes these things are trimmed too much. Let's see what happens if we just give it juice. Keep it running straight down this grass runway here. To the lower right, I think that's a communication issue. But it's not normal. I mean, it's not. It shouldn't be there. I think it means that it's not communicating with the internet, and you shouldn't have to because everything's local, except for real-time traffic. So that's flying a really old biplane. You don't want to get too far off the ground, and you don't want to try to go too fast. And what I'm a little concerned about is, are there any instruments or this oil temperature? So that oil temperature is probably indicating if my engine's going to overheat. I think I'm okay. But yeah, that spinning ring in the lower right is bumming me out. So again, we did just do an update, and I think we probably need to go through a complete reboot cycle. What kind of fuel did these really early planes use? Good question, because they may not have had access to gasoline, and they might have used kerosene, which was, I think, more available at the time. But it's a as I mentioned, if you saw, you can see that you can see this is a 8-cylinder piston engine. So they probably had gasoline. They probably had the gasoline, just wouldn't necessarily very good quality. If you're asking if it was diesel or regular, I think I'm sure it was diesel. It was regular. Diesel was more recent invention. I'm just trying to keep this thing. I mean, it's nice and slow, but what we're going to see is a lot of fields. I think. Let's see what's over in that direction. If we can continue east, we'll get to the coast, but it's going to take a while. Okay, now that's from the front seat. You can see there's petrol tanks. I didn't give us a lot of gas so that we could get off the ground, because it won't. But that, you can see we're mostly empty, but that's fine. We're not working anywhere. But yeah, it's cool how those tappets that are operating the valve train are operating in sync with the engine. Oh, there's a map train. Trying to get this thing to trim out. That's a little tricky too. Oh yeah, I probably have too much engine at this point. Okay. Let's see if we can trim it out. It's got a map tray. Okay. I don't know if you can actually bring out the map. Sometimes you can bring out the map. Like that. Okay. I don't want to take too much. It may not be that stable right now. It's not bad. These planes certainly do not have autopilot. So that's from the passenger view in the front. What's really a co-pilot, because you do get some auxiliary controls. You get the magneto cutoff and a throttle, secondary throttle, which are not operational here. And you can look back and you can see there should be a person flying a plane in that, which I think is I don't know what that is. Okay. right there. Alright, how can we get back to our regular view? I guess that's the main pilot view. We've got the right side. You don't have much of a forward view in these airplanes, and that was just the way it was. For one thing, it's an open cockpit, so you're just seeing the air, you're seeing but they're only going about 50, 60 miles an hour, like, you know. And you wouldn't want to necessarily go up higher than what we're at, 1,500 feet. But yeah, I think this is basically a 1915 or 16 design, or maybe an 18, somewhere in that range. But yeah, they'd hold bombs and they'd drop them off the side of the thing. So I wonder if that's a bomb or something. Or in World War One, they have, they very informal. They're trying to trim this thing. That left-right trim. What's that there? Anything else? Got that little thing there. Compass speed. I thought it was. Yeah, we're not overheating anything. The controller shakes when you go faster than about 70 miles an hour, because you could really damage the airplane, as they like to say. But yeah, we're traveling over miles and miles of Australia, nothing. It's not the outback. It's just, because there's, you can see there's farm activity. But it's just eastern Australia. It's big. I don't know if we'll make it to the, I don't know if we have enough fuel to make it to, see, if I was doing things right, I would have adjusted, and I wanted to consume my fuel, I would have set the mixture down. We actually would have been able to lower the throttle and conserve a lot of fuel. I don't have to run out of fuel, because I can give myself fuel, but we are going to land somewhere. Anyway, you know what I mean? No, you can't go very fast, and that's the issue is because of the fact that they're fabric-covered spars, they're just not strong enough. That all-metal planes were a huge innovation in terms of being able to actually go at high speed. And that's the whole point. I mean, it's an open cockpit. You can't imagine, these people, you would be wearing an actual helmet with eye protection, because even at 50 miles an hour, you're not going to be able to just be like that. So that's not realistic, but that's fine. But yeah, actual open cockpit, like driving a motorcycle at 50 miles an hour for an hour with no helmet on, is not a lot of fun. Well, it was just, having a glass. There was no point because they didn't go that fast, and there was no having a glass enclosed cockpit was a waste of weight. It would be very heavy to enclose this little part here with glass. They could have just put like a big glass thing on top that you could still see out of it. It would weigh like 200 pounds, and these are already super light aircraft, effectively ultralights. So nice simple design, but not for speed. Not designed for speed. I just love the way the engine functions. Because speed wasn't an issue, in the old days, having the ability to get up above the battlefield and see. Overspeeding, yeah. Okay. I'll draw a little bit more. Well, we can land on exactly reconnaissance was what you mean to say. But yeah, that was their original role. They would actually have in addition to early. I mean, photography was invented in the late 19th century. So one of the first things they thought of was a downward-facing camera, and then run those over the battlefield and go back and take a look at what they pictured. And they got a lot of great information. It wasn't, it wasn't rocket science. Just to have cameras, take a roll of film as you passed over, and you were high enough at that time they really couldn't get you. They didn't, in World War I, they didn't really have anti-aircraft guns. They could send up other airplanes to try to shoot you down. and that was how they invented that dogfighting thing. But they couldn't really get you from the ground with light arms fire if you were more like 2 or 3 like this high up. Like nobody's gonna hit you with a rifle, but you could get a good camera shot as long as the weather was good. And so that was obviously an issue, is that you need to be flying during the day and you need to be flying in good weather to get good recon photos. What's down there? Like a little village. Still middle of buttfuck nowhere. Eastern Australia, yeah. Is there anything coming up in the next million years? Like, there's a couple of indications that we're getting into a controlled airspace, which is what those lines are there. But that doesn't mean we're that close to an airport. It's supposed to be 30 miles from an airport. What are we down to? 15%. So you can see, one cool thing is, okay, I was showing you. See that that gauge there, the petrol gauge. By the way, the answer, to what kind of gasoline, because it says petrol. This is a British plane. It means petroleum, so that is specifically gasoline. It wouldn't have been kerosene, because it says petrol, which is probably a reminder also to people who might have had a variety of fuels available. Oh yeah, no, this is a petrol engine, still gasoline. All right, where are we gonna put down this puppy? We're gonna put down this puppy on like a nice flat area, nice little flat field, because I'm already bored of it. I mean, I'm having a great ass time, but I don't see anything of interest that pop up, especially traveling at 60 miles an hour. So people driving below us in an SUV are going faster than we are. That's the thing to really think about when you think about it as transportation. Which would, in the day it was amazing, but nowadays it's like, oh, let's get in the plane and go from point A to point B, or we could drive there and it's faster. Can you imagine? Yeah. But no, as soon as they had single-engine metal planes that could cruise at 120 miles an hour, they were definitely faster. All right, we're gonna try to lose some altitude here. So I'm gonna cut our engine. We're going to get low and see if we can find a place to put down somewhere around here. I'm cutting the engine. We don't need this. We're gonna aim our ass down. Yeah, and there's really no instruments to help you know where you're like. Just airspeed. Oops, that's too much. Whoa. Why am I going down? Oh. What happened there? Did it overspeed? I think I overspeeded. Because why would it stall at this large... That's weird. Yeah, something bad happened there. I know, it was putt-putting. Well, I'm trying to lose altitude because at that speed, and then it just kind of... I wasn't really doing anything. And then it started acting like it was about to stall, but the airspeed was overspeeded. It was like 140. So I'm wondering whether it was in certain instances the airspeed indicator is not accurate. You know what I'm saying? But it's still I was it still should be able to recover. It could have been what I've talked about many times, which is that this bad boy has some bugs in the flight model that affects planes at certain times. I think it's trying to emulate turbulence at certain speeds, like the effects of turbulence, like an unexpected amount of turbulence. But yeah, that's happened a couple times, but with big planes and small planes, is kind of the sudden, no warning stall when you think you're overspeeding. But again, that could have been an instrument issue. Now, the thing I wanted to read here before, again, today's release, I believe, is 135210, and I really wanted to check this out before we switch over to the music thing. So, new content / feature. Remember, the people developing this program are French, so they have to use a translation program to do their English release notes. Flight plan assistance for ATC, so users can request the ATC to favor their flight plan or world map flight settings over the current conditions. I have no idea what they're saying. but it does have something to do with the active runway and approach, which I've noticed is always kind of sus. Now it clears a step to the next altitude sometime before arriving before the previously cleared altitude. We don't have altitude clearances. Oh, interesting. Okay, okay, okay. We need to enable this ATC routing sometime. Because we normally my flights are always ad hoc, so it's like we'll take off some random airport and fly until we get sick of it or crash like we did. We never have a successful flight, by the way. It's sort of my thing. I've been doing this for what 120 times. This variety show, I put on a 1.5 hour variety show every day. That's the best variety show since the Carol Burnett show. I gotta say, I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm just saying, but I do it every single day. She only did it once a week, only 26 weeks a year. I'm doing it every fucking day. Okay, I do variety show, I play games, and then I do live music. So you know what I'm saying. We're gonna not all the streams are gonna be good. In fact, not any of them are gonna be good. But let's continue reading. We got some okay. General bug fix. Several crashes have been fixed across the tile. Localization bugs. Performance optimizations for long flights. Mixing. I enjoy it too. I mean, that's if first time I crashed a plane or the program did something stupid like that, I was like, I'm not playing that again. Can you imagine? I got to do this every day. I don't care that it's fucked up. So there's literally nothing. I mean, the plane can suddenly disintegrate for no reason in level flight, and I'd be like, yeah, that's funny. Let's do this again tomorrow and see what happens. I don't give a shit. Anyway, but this is a release, so it may be related to sometimes things are fixed and sometimes things go downhill. It's happened. Automated weather report reading update. Fixed an issue where the wish list was not sorted properly. Fixed freeze opening the logbook. Enhanced ATC phraseology. By the way, all the things, the result of me reading or watching my own video on demand playbacks of my own stream, which is, trust me, super painful to do. But I try to do it, is that, I talk fast, but that's fine. But I also kind of mush a little bit, and I need to elucidate and enunciate a little better. And I think that oh gosh, nobody does, but that's fine. You have to do it if you're a streamer because you'll find things you can improve, and specifically things like is the guitar as loud as the voice or too loud compared to the voice, and usually I find the guitar is not loud enough. Okay, things like that. And also when I talk, am I kind of mushy mouthing it, or can you hear the words that I'm trying to come out of my mouth? Can you understand the words that are coming? You get the point. And I think I have room to improve in that area. So, when I think about it, I'll be enunciating more. But then when I don't think about it, I'll probably go back to just kind of talking the way I talk, which is a little cringe. Let's continue on this. But the point is, I'll practice every day, and I might get better. Okay, weather. Snow and ice coverage accuracy has been improved in live weather. Now, we played a couple last week. We're like, oh, there's snow. Look, we're going to land on our skis. And then as we got down to low level, it turned into green grass with just little bits of snow around. So I hope that's what they're talking about because that was terrible. Fixed an issue when the wind was malformed. I don't know. You remember that? So maybe we'll try this again. See, that's what I'm saying. Everything about the game, there's so many details, and I agree. I mean, there's so much going. They're trying to simulate the entire world. That's, you know what I mean, and all the weather, a very dynamic world. So I can see that there would be a problem, but that was a real bad, ugly-looking bug. Maybe they fixed it. We got to find out tomorrow or sometime in the near future. We're gonna do it. Glass cockpits fixed an issue. We're removing an airway entry leg from the flight bank and something corrupt the flight. But we never do any of this stuff. Okay. Hardware, keyboard, blah 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 blah. Okay, cast messages. WT21. I don't even know what that is. Oh, specific glass cockpits. Okay, aircraft. General. Payload station weights. Fixed for the L39. Fixed enters the P51. Why are these not anyway? And the T6. I have all these. Improved aircraft simulation stability. Few potential crashes were fixed. What the hell does that mean? I'm sorry. I'm a software engineer, and this is code for We made some changes, and maybe they'll make things better. Maybe they'll make things worse, but we don't know. Literally, I'm a software engineer. Correct many false positive errors regarding input events when loading AI planes. What the hell? Come out lose power in Reno arrays. Oh my god. Do slow down the simulation speed. Interesting. Okay. Minimize HUD. Blah blah blah. Anti-stall protection is now disabled for helicopters. Was it? What? How do I get it? Airbus 310-300. No, we have the 320 Neo. I think. During. Wow, there's some high tech code going on in some of these release notes. So you can't get the 320 currently because it's causing crashes on people's systems. Interesting. That's a release note for you. Okay, Bell 407. I think I have that. And they made a bunch of changes to the Bell 407. I think I've got that. That's the helicopter. That's the Bell Jet Ranger helicopter that you get. Checklist correction. Yeah, I think I've run into some of these issues. Although the blade dynamics and brake force adjustments, all things that I'm interested in checking out. Boy, these release notes are yeah. But as I say, it's not about realism. It's about it's about the figuring out if you're gonna survive the simple mission of taking off and landing. Boeing 787-10. I think I have that. Yeah, that's the Dreamliner. So I have that because I got that as part of the advanced thing. I've only flown it once and it did not go well. So I do want to fly it again. Performance optimization, plan cruise altitude. Yeah, assign you a flight. These are the planes. The thing about these planes is that they're designed. You take off from the runway, and they're designed to not. You can't fully fly around at low level. They're not designed for that. They want to go to cruise altitude, and fuck you if you don't want to go to cruise altitude. That's what they're for. I mean, then you can put it into a state where it will land. But just flying around at low level, they won't do. I mean, they kind of will, but not. It's not. You'd have to do certain things like a test pilot would do. Okay, Citation CJ4. Yes, we have that. That's a 2-engine turboprop. The Cirrus, we just got that. Oh my god. What the hell? Cirrus SR-22. Okay. The Curtis Jenny. That's what we just flew. Some instruments are not localized in Korean. Just so they didn't fix anything except, but they okay. Let's not get into it. They fixed some localizations, but that's the way I flew. The DC-3 I was gonna fly. Grumman Goose, I have that. Fuel drawn from wrong tank but starting cold dart. Wow. Spruce Goose, that's the Grumman. That's the Spruce Goose. Which is a tricky one. Okay, Robin, DR400. Okay, I think I've seen that. Wright Flyer. Peripheral fix. Okay, SDK. Okay, once we get into developer mode fixes, we're not. These are editor visual fix editor. It's not of interest. Okay, wow. Well, the good thing about the game is that it is still being worked. They are still working on it, and they've been working. It's been like 4 or 5 years they've been working on it now. So maybe at some point they will get it done. But it looks like a lot of ATC changes, which might be of interest even when we just call up an airport in flight and say we want to land there, but may not affect that. Eliminating the requirement to include altimeter settings in takeoff clearances. That means I can turn off the because it always announces what the barometer is on the takeoff clearance. It says at 29 to 8.89, and then you set your barometer. But I kind of need that, but it doesn't indicate it's okay. We'll have to find out, but not today. All right. So look, the plan is to take a short break and then come back and play the guitar for a little while. because I feel like I'm making some progress. Maybe one of these days I'll actually learn how to play it fairly well. So stick with me for that. Thank you. Kitty content. Mo. Hello, Mr. Mo. He's a fluffy, beastly bow. Oh, hello, Mr. Mo. What do you got to say for yourself? Look at the kitty. This is Mo. Mo is the other a main occupant of this boat here. He's pretty much large and in charge. And he's got something to say, which is meow. He's 14 years old. He's getting up there. He is kind of, a elderly cat gentleman. He doesn't do too much, but he has a good time. He's purrs. He's a good kitty. He sleeps a lot. He goes out. He gets to run around. He has a great life. He has a good, very, very good life. So he's generally a very, very happy cat, and that's Mo. Oh, he's doing a lot of posing for the camera today. You might want to just hang out for a while. He has these moments where he's super affectionate, and then a lot of times he'd just rather bite you and murder you. But that's typical for a cat. So yeah, I've had him for 13 of his 14 years, or he's owned me technically. There you go. So rather than music today or any kind of content, it will simply be a pet. It'll be a kitty petting stream, and just kind of mellow, no sound or anything like that. Maybe me talking a bit. So I was going to tell you a little bit about my Telecaster anyway. And I don't really need to be showing it to you, but the specific body style I have is called it's a swirl. And if those of you who've seen me say, well, there he goes, he's done. He was already just completely done with the whole concept. I'm probably just going to make this. Right, hold on one second here, guys. Going outside, Mo? Oh, fuck. 1 second. I think he wants to go out. Jeez. Where is this thing? Okay, that's good. Oh, perfect. Okay, give me 1 minute. He needs to go for walkies. And you know how cats are. They're ready to go. They're ready to go. Here you go. Check it out, Mom. Now, it is raining out. It is raining out, so he's not super happy about the idea of going out, but he still wants to go out. So, you know what I mean. It doesn't rain here a lot, but so he's not used to rain. So it's a swirl. It's the swirl body style, which is similar but not exactly the same as my Telecaster or as my Stratocaster swirl. So they made a limited run of these where the body is made separately, of course, as I mentioned, and then they immerse them in a water tank and they swirl oil paints over the top in certain colors, and then they lift it up, and the oil paints adhere to the body, and then they dry it and put a polyethylene clear coat over it. And each one is unique. So they like when these came out, and they only made a few hundred of these. They sold them just at pretty much the regular price that they were selling regular Mexican-made Telecasters for. It's $50 more for these completely unique, one-of-a-kind color schemes that are they're really cool. As I say, it goes all through the body and everything. So what the other thing is that this is the only guitar I have that has the bare maple style fretboard. All the others I have the rosewood, which is the dark colored wood. I always thought, well, you needed that rosewood, right? It's gonna sound weird, but no, the maple's fine. I really don't notice a difference. So there. So in this guitar, I've done some modification work to it. If anybody's familiar with a normal Telecaster, the regular Telecaster does not have this pickup style here. It's got what's called a lipstick pickup, which is just a little tiny piece of metal, chrome-colored thing. Looks like a tube of lipstick. It came like that. It sounds terrible. It's not a good pickup. Again, remember Leo Fender was trying to make it the cheap-ass guitar. It was part spin guitar, so he could sell. He had a much higher profit margin on the tube amps he wanted to sell, which are a lot more expensive than the guitar that he built. This one by design. So I took out the pickup and I've got a new pickguard for it that was already cut for this larger style humbucker pickup. And I got it's called a Lace. It's called something by Lace. Powered by Lace. Lace is a pickup that's really well known for high-end specialty pickups, but these are a Chinese-made version of a Lace pickup that's endorsed by Lace. Okay, look, it's a long story. Nobody cares. It wasn't very expensive, and it sounds really good. This is the humbucker. You can't really tell, but it's real quiet, so you can crank it. So no background sound. This is a single coil pickup. You can hear a little bit of background sound, not a lot. Or you can mix them together, and that's a useful sound. In fact, it's kind of a twang, more of a twang to it in that middle position. What do you guys think? More twang here, or more twang here? I don't need to switch that much. That's an interesting sound. Let's try that one. It worked for jazz. Always like to, while I've been playing a bit, check the tune. Seems like it's okay. Let's check. It's fine. Drew. Good to see you here. Welcome. We got only a minor disaster flying our biplane in the Microsoft Flight Simulator portion of the show, of my entertainment show that I put on every day that I like to compare to the Carol Burnett show. Nobody really. Anyway, second half we're doing a little guitar playing, twanging with my Telecaster here, and I really like it. Yeah, a minor accidents. It'll buff right out, except it's in a million pieces. So we'll first glue it together again, and then it'll buff right out. The plane will be fine. And it was a new release of Flight Simulator, so we had to read the Flight Simulator release notes. Oh my. So that reminds me what I really want to do. Or it doesn't remind me, but just popped in my head. The next time I want to do a music stream from the keyboard, something different than I normally do. I was watching a streamer a couple days ago, and I do not remember who it was. It was recommended to me from a music stream or referred or whatever. It was a well-known, had 300 viewers, female keyboard player, music streamer. And she had a fancy ass setup with 3 cameras, including one that was on those moving tracks that would go back and forth. So, and one of those systems where it automatically goes. A lot of these music streamers have this where it'll fade between the 3 cameras. So, and also a setting where all 3 cameras are on. So she has 3 cameras. She has 3 cameras. I don't think I need the 3 cameras with the moving camera. It's not really about the visual aesthetics. Oh yeah, she had this great setup. So, and she was good. Of course, she was good. I'm not saying. She was good. She was better. They're great. All these people do play keyboards all day. They get really. And plus, she was very talented. In addition, something I'm not. I just practice a lot. She's talented. She's young, and she's probably better than me. But the thing that she had was, she was doing it for hours and hours and hours live, and I was like, "Are you really playing music for 6 hours?" And what she was doing is she would take long breaks, like 20-minute breaks, and then she'd show VOD during those breaks, and you'd still see her, like you'd see her eating or something, or just an empty frame, and then she'd just play back a YouTube video of herself playing music from a previous stream. So there was always live music that she was playing, or always music that she was playing, and then she would take breaks, and then she would come back and play it live. But one of the things she was playing was improvisation while blindfolded. Okay, all right. So she had this Hello Kitty blindfold. Do you know what I'm talking about the Hello Kitty blindfold? In fact, I have to fucking get one of those because I literally want to imitate what she was doing and see if I can pull it off. I don't know how I'll be able to compare it, but now that I remember, I want to see if I can. Right. Let's see if Amazon has this. No. Is it this? Yes. It's a sleep mask. I'll show you in a second on Amazon. Hold on a second. This is what she was wearing. I think I'm gonna get it over her eyes. Okay, I don't really want to show. Let's see. I'm just seeing if it shows anything I don't want to show here. So if you look here, this is what she has on her eyes while she's improvising, and she recorded herself, and she was doing real well. So I'm gonna buy that. Hold on a second. Well, remember it's $16. Add to cart, right? I assume that what this is, that you put this over your head, right? Sleep mask, yes. Okay, sleep. What else would it be for? All right, adding it to cart, just because otherwise I'll fucking forget it. Proceed to checkout. It's $16. And then when I get it, that will be the reminder that I need to do a stream where I have this Hello Kitty mask on my face, and I have the keyboard here, and I improvise for as long as I can stand it. I won't know how long, because my, you know what I mean? My eyes will be covered. I won't know if it's 5 minutes or 500 hours. Well, no, it won't be. But you get the idea. It inspired me to repeat that, and I will. I'm going to do it. I mean, I just ordered the mask, so I have the prop, as I can say. Let me see if I can sing a song here or something like that. Okay, order placed. Hold on. Which one though? Okay, how about okay, how about this one? Always like, even if I must sing a song, let's do it from about here. I don't want to be too loud. Batman, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. No one knows what it's like to be hated, to be faded, to telling only lies. But my dreams are as empty as my conscience seems to be. Others lonely. Is that the right chords? My love is vengeance. Maybe. It's never free. I don't think it was. No one knows what it's like to feel these feelings like I do. And I blame you. No one bites back its heart on their anger. None of my pain and woe can show through. But my dreams, they hurt is empty as my conscience seems to be. Others only lonely. My love is vengeance. It's never free. When my wrist would just crack it open before I use and lose my cool. When I smile, they spell me some bad news. I'll cry, laugh, and act like a fool. If there's more anything evil, put your finger down my throat. If I shiver, please give me a blanket. Keep me warm, let me wear your coat. It's like being the madman, to be the sad man behind blue eyes. What was the one I like doing? But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it way down here. Okay, so they're doing it capo 3, and it's just too high for me. So I'm trying to sing this song down just no capo. It's not where you expect. It's quite a bit ways down. I have a lower voice, but it's still quite high for me, so it'll be too high. So it's a young guy, you know. Did my best to notice when the call came down the line. Up to the platform of surrender. I was bold, but I was kind. Sometimes I get nervous when I see an open door. Close your eyes, clear your heart, and cut the cord. Are we human? Or are we dancer? My sign's vital, it's vital, it's vital. My hands are cold, and I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human? Are we dancer? Pay my respects to grace and virtue. Send my condolences to good. Give my regards to soul and romance. They always did the best they could. And so on to devotion. You taught me everything I know. Wave goodbye, wish me well. You gotta let me go. Are we human? Or are we dancer? My sign is vital. My hands are cold. And I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human? Or are we dancer? Will your sister be alright when you dream of home tonight? Is the message we're receiving? Let me know if your heart's still beating. It goes back to, gotta scroll down here. Are we human? Are we dancer? The sun is vital. My hands are cold. And I'm on my knees looking for the answer. You gotta let me know. Are we human? Or are we dancer? My sign is vital. My hands are cold. And I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human? Are we dancer? Are we human? Are we dancer? Are we human? Not really how the end goes at all. Boy, I'm still kind of getting the chords down, but you know. I think I pulled that bad boy out of tune, though. Not really. I live in a long time. Maybe I'll turn about. Maybe because I'm trying. Yeah. There's been time so confused on my roads when they lead to you. I just can't turn and walk away. Hard to say what it is I see in you. If I'll always be with you, words can't say, I can't do, not to prove it's all for you. I gotta sing it all, but it's been a long, long time. All that they were tripping for, wondering if I'm blind. There's been times I'm so confused, all on my roads when they lead to you. I just can't turn and walk away. It's hard to say what it is I see in you, and if I'll always be with you. Words can't say, I can do, not to prove it's all for you. Rain keeps falling down, falling from blue skies. Words give out a sound coming from your eyes. Funny, I figured out took a long, long time. But now there's a turnabout, maybe coming down. Every time I'm so confused, on the road when they lead to you, I just can't turn and walk away. It's hard to say what it is I see in you, wondering if I'll always be with you. Words can't say, and I can't do, not to prove it's all for you. I gotta take a break from singing for a minute, but that's probably gonna be pretty much it for the. But I like singing every time. I think I feel a little bit stronger, if I sing every day or every other day. I sing every day pretty much. Cringingly. But I'm hoping that the mix is a little bit better. My voice might be a little lower in the mix. Not as prominent as I'm hoping, as it's been recently. The reason why is because you want to hear yourself really well in the headphones when you're singing. So you turn yourself up in the mix. And then when the external mix, this is a classic problem when you're recording yourself and you're effectively monitoring the main mix and not your own mix, not a monitor mix. It's a complicated way of saying that in order for it to sound right, my voice has to be pretty low in my headphones compared to this. And to you, it'd be the other way around. And how they get around to that in live recording is you have a monitor mix that makes your voice or whatever instrument you're playing in a band. That's what a monitor is for. So you're playing the guitar, whatever. The monitor accentuates your part. You hear it really well, but it's mixed normally in the rest of the thing. So it's hard to do that when you don't have a sound dude over there in the back actually mixing it for you. So the only way I can find out if it's right is to listen the next day to the VOD and say, well, did I make an improvement or did I go backwards? But to me, the guitar has a lot of guts, and then when I listen back, like especially on my computer speakers, it sounds pretty wimpy. But electric guitar doesn't have a lot of bass because it's designed to not compete with the bass guitar. Which I was going to mention. Leo Fender's other major invention was the electric bass guitar. He really was more responsible for 10 years after the electric bass was invented. It was just a Fender bass, no matter who made it, because he invented it. He didn't invent the electric guitar. They were already around. He didn't invent it. As I mentioned, he invented this manufacturing method brilliantly to manufacture them less expensively. But he actually invented and applied this method to building bases, and that was even more revolutionary. Because before they were using stand-up bases and putting a mic on them, and that just did not work. I like the sound of the guitar. I like the way it plays. I like all my guitars. By the way, a couple things I want to do in the future is a 16 guitars all in the room. Bring them all into the room. Show them all off. Just talk about it. Not play any of them. Just talk about them. Okay. Um, what else? There was another kind of musical stream idea I had. Oh yeah, bring my bass out. I was talking about basses. Bring my bass out. Well, a couple times I've streamed. Maybe I guess 3 times in my 150 streams or 100 streams, whatever. I played Rocksmith with my bass, and I play along with it. I don't VODs for that because of copyright issues, because it's copyright music that you play bass over, but it gives you the part for, and it's going to be fun. My bass is a great bass. It's a really fun bass play. I played it for a solid year and I got pretty good, at least at this kind of artificial thing. But then I stopped playing for several years. Now I'm really rough, but I like to play. It's funner than shit to play the bass. Even when you're playing crappy. So we're gonna do a bass guitar stream, using Rocksmith, okay, and then it's sometime in December. We're gonna have another recording studio stream. I've got this other mic set up, so I will hopefully be able to use this mic to pick up my sound, and I'll have headphones. So I won't have my control room audio, so there won't be anything playing back in my little living room studio here. But then I'll have these headphones, so I'll be able to hear what you guys hear. So that should be better, or just as good at least from what I'm doing before. It should free me up a little bit. We'll see if that's a better or not. Because my other solution is to wear that headphone that has a headset that's got a microphone on it. That's not bad, but I just would kind of rather not have to do that. It's a long story. So that'll be in the next recording studio stream. But then it's also December, Christmas music time, when I like to play my Christmas music in my jazzy improvisational style. And that will actually be the next stream, a la tomorrow's stream. Will be a Christmas music rehearsal stream. I got 3 or 4 more rehearsals to go, and then it's not until the 24th that the official Christmas music crapola stream is going to occur. I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to see how long I can go on Christmas and Christmas Eve day playing those things before people get sick of kind of the repetition. I'll start from the front of the book, go to the back, go back to the front of the book, go to the front, back, go back to the front of the book, that. Oops, sorry, it's swept it. On Christmas, that's the plan until people demand that I stop, basically, or I die, or I die of boredom, if you get what I'm saying. So that'll be that's this month. That's December. It's gonna be an exciting month in that regard, and we'll probably crash many more planes in Flight Simulator. I've got many plans to crash quite a few more planes in many different devious ways in Flight Simulator. We might have to smash into the Eiffel Tower. That is also very interesting. So what have we talked about? We're going to have Christmas music streams. We're going to have recording music streams. We're going to have an improvisation stream where I wear a Hello Kitty mask over my eyes and I play the piano. Whatever comes out, comes out. You know what I'm saying? And we see what happens. Because the challenge, basically the challenge has been placed down by another a fellow music streamer who I unfortunately don't remember the name of, but I might be able to find it. So that is it for the Wednesday stream. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'm going to get back to work and get a few more things done. Tomorrow will be Thursday. Again, I mentioned Christmas music rehearsal. See you then. Friday shall be another stream of some kind that I do not give a shit about preparing in advance for. So there won't be any preparation in advance for it. But I plan on doing it. So you know what I'm saying. It's been great. Face cam only. Put that back there a little bit. That's good. Perfect. I will. It's actually, it's 3. I got another hour or 2 of work. Yeah, but it's easy stuff. It's nothing major. Let's see. And that's it. Yeah, have a good time. Here we go. I just like to end on this little screen here and mute it, and then we're ready for next time.